New York Knicks, they had good depth to their roster, trading for Alec Burks and Bojan Bogdanovic from the Detroit Pistons for Quentin Grimes, Malachi Flynn, Ryan Arsenazio, and 2 second-round future picks. So right now the Knicks, we know they needed some bench depth after they traded quickly and Barrett for Anunoby a few weeks ago. And now with a lot of injuries on this roster, Jalen Brunson not 100%, Julius Randle out with a shoulder injury, and OG out with an elbow injury. The Knicks definitely needed some of these players, and they get it in the deal. So Alec Burks, a former New York Knick for a few seasons, on the year 12.6 points a game, 2.6 rebounds, 1.6 assists, 2.3 threes a game, and 39% from the field. So he's going to come off the bench as a guard/forward for this New York Knicks team. And we know he's a good three-point shooter, is Alec Burks. We know he's pretty decent on defense. And he was a Tom Thibodeau favorite a few seasons ago, where they played him a whole lot before they traded him away a couple of seasons ago to Detroit. But now back with the New York Knicks, he knows the system. He knows what his role is going to be with this team. And he definitely can help this team. But in terms of fantasy basketball, obviously his scoring is going to go down a little bit with Alec Burks, where they got a lot of good players, like I mentioned, on this Knicks team. And he'll be the 5th, 6th option at best. Now to Bojan Bogdanovic, he might step right into the starting lineup right away for this New York Knicks team. Like I said, Julius Randle at least out multiple weeks with the shoulder injury, and Bogey's having another solid year, 20.2 points a game, 3.4 rebounds, 2.5 assists, 3.1 threes a game, and 46%. So he's a sniper shooting the three ball, is Bogdanovic. And this Knicks team definitely could use more three-point shooting to spread the floor out, to give the paint open to Brunson and Julius Randle. So in terms of fantasy basketball, I think his scoring obviously will go down a little bit, playing with Brunson and Randle ahead of him in the pecking order. But in terms of hitting three ball and even rebounding a little bit, I think Bogey can help fantasy owners in that way. Now to the pieces, going to the Pistons. The only one really with any fantasy value is Quentin Grimes. So Grimes, a former draft pick of the New York Knicks. And this Knicks team, they're in win-now mode, and Grimes had a down year from last season to this year. 7.3 points a game this year, 2 boards, 1.2 assists, 1.7 threes, and 39% from the field. But right now, he'll get more playing time with this Piston team. That's one of the worst teams in the league, where they're going to lose 65, 70 games, it looks like, here for Detroit. And it's about playing the young guys and see what they got for the future. So right now, Quentin Grimes, he's going to get, I believe, 25, 30 minutes of playing time. Either as the 2-guard or a guard coming off the bench. So if you want to get him in fantasy leagues and deeper leagues, I think he'll have value over there as Grimes. Malachi Flynn, he was in the OG Anunoby deal, and the Knicks flipped him in this one as well for salaries to match up, and he's not really a fantasy option. He's a 3rd guard. At best, he is Malachi Flynn, even though we know Killian Hayes got waived by this Piston team, but they still got Cade Cunningham, Ivy as well, and Flynn, who'll be that 3rd guard on this roster, so no fantasy value. And Ryan Arsenazio getting waived as well. So the New York Knicks, they make a nice deal getting Alec Burks and Bojan Bogdanovic. And the key part is they didn't give up any first-round picks to get 2 solid players in this deal. And we'll see if they can help this Knicks team make a deep playoff run in fantasy owners for the remainder of the 2024 season.